So, I broke.
I know. I love the picture sequence. It was like working, and then it was in 2 pieces. It just seems like that's pretty much the stop motion story of all of our projects.
Well, I mean, especially this whole dirt board deal's dragged on for so long because it keeps hitting bumps like that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what you think about where, the bindings, because I placed the bindings based on my own stance for longboarding.
Okay. The last pair of skis I mounted, I didn't even measure. I just put my ski boots on and stood on the skis and kind of shifted my feet around until it looked right.
Well, I mean, you know what Chris Schwartz said? Measuring is the enemy of precision.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. So, I'd say the most organic way is probably the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. We'll start it off real slow like, and then taper off from there.
Nice.
So now, are the wedges, they're not symmetric either.
No, this is asymmetric. So this should be, I think, 24.5 and 35.
Yeah, I like the bushing for the binding setup. Keep your feet out of the wheels, that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes.
Inflatable tires on pavement is a strange thing.
Yeah.
They just feel the whole sidewall flex, and you hear the knobs like twist in the pavement.
Definitely doesn't hold the speed at all, like urethane wheels.
No, which is
not
a good thing.
Yeah. So yeah, what's the control authority like?
Having bushings, having bindings is super strange after having ridden, just skates for a while. To jump back onto a pair of bindings feels odd. But the OPs just have so much deck tip that it doesn't feel like you're relying on the bindings to get it to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can still really just drive the board around with the bottoms of your feet, but there is just kind of an additional comfort to have a little bit of pressure on the tops of your foot.
Nice.
So, how much is it sinking in?
Yeah. It's pretty loose stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty dry.
So, has there been any talk of wider dirt board wheels?
In e-skate, they go into about that sort of stuff a lot. E-skate's a lot more exploratory in all the things they want to try to do, because it's kind of what e-skate is right now. And then mountain boarding is kind of like, it's so small right now. I feel like there needs to be more people to have the synergy for that to happen.
Yeah.
And I think the community is just too small still.
And if there is a scene, they're probably using groomed tracks.
Yeah,
You know,
a lot more.
Hard packed dirt that this wheel has been optimized for, and vice versa.
Right, yeah, the hard mud.
Whereas true all-terrain tires haven't been as necessary.
So, one of the big things I want to get out of this is I don't think this deck is going to last as a mountain board.
Oh yeah, even at the maple.
Even the maple, that neck is so long and has had to be cut so narrow. So I think the next logical step is to press a deck and put the wedges that we want into it. Okay. So I'm kind of curious on your impressions on those angles.
I was gonna say the angles feel really good. That's kind of what I've been trying to find here on the pavement.
Yeah.
And I'm able to carve. I'd say with a little more confidence, I could probably get the wheels to break loose.
Well, those are the only wheels we got.
I
so.
know. That's why probably not wise, but it feels good. I'd say that's a good starting point.
All right. Is it a nice break in your road trip, or is it just making you wish you were not having to go back in your car?
I know. Having car trouble totally messed up my timetable.
Yeah.
It's just so goofy to see all these oversized bolts and hardware. It's just like, it's so ridiculous almost.
So something I realized when I was putting this back together, but working on that and looking at all these other trucks.
You start to realize just how much better this is in a lot of ways.
Well, I mean, I just started thinking about so a lot of the other trucks are channel trucks, right? And it's like, I don't think I could ever ride a channel truck that doesn't have the cam going on. As far as like channel trucks go, it is only an improvement, right?
Yeah.
And then I also realized just like how awesome the P2 has been this whole time, just as a platform for us to experiment on.
As the test pig.
Yes. like there's nothing even comes close to how good those are. Just for messing around with designs and modifying stuff.
Drilling holes in it and wedges.
And like, yeah, you threw together these hangers like in a minute and it just works.
And they've been modified multiple times as the design changed.
Yeah, I think it's revision 3 basically.
Yeah, it's lent itself very well.
So I'm glad I've still got a box of those unfinished base plates, because I mean there's hangers we can throw in them if ever we get time. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, I'd say we've hit some good angles. I'd say the front and rear complement each other well. Wheelbase feels a little long. I feel.
Yeah, this is longer than the other one, but
it was out of necessities.
Yes. How about this width? Would you keep this narrow thing going on, or would you? The other thing I was thinking is, if we make the deck an inch wider, we can make the axle width an inch wider, and keep that pairing. And I mean, the board's a little narrow for my feet anyway, and you want your feet to be inside the vehicle at all times, right?
I'd say that the width actually is fine, unless there's some need to gain more strength out of the deck.
I mean, we can design around that. That's something we can do.
But
just in terms of what it's doing to how it's going to perform for you, is there an advantage? Are you still sold by
we
it?
Could try to go narrower just because we have the bindings.
Okay, so we should go the fat wheels, right?
Yeah.
And keep the outsides flush, right?
That's kind of where I was going. With
So then we go. Should we go? I mean, we talked about narrowing
the base
cam.
plate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doing the 3-inch instead of the 4. But I feel like by raising the angle so much, we've already lost a good chunk of that raising center.
Yeah, and the stability.
And the raising center, I feel like it's a good amount that we've ended up with for this application.
Even though I haven't ridden this for a while, I'm kind of shocked at how inviting it is. It's very comfortable. It doesn't feel like you have to really make an aggressive change to your riding style to get it to work. So I'd say that whatever we've done here is working really well, and the best thing to do would be to emulate it and just try to find a...
This is where we ended up with when we were actually working on it last time.
Yeah.
And we were more refreshed then, so we were on something good.
And I do recall cutting the axle width down without making much.
Okay, so here's what we did. There's actually a nut. We'll have a nut that we can take off if we want to go even narrower.
Oh.
That's what we did.
Okay.
We left the possibility for going even narrower.
Because I feel like we kind of thought it out and tried to figure out where we could go as narrow as possible without getting into the neck of the deck.
Yeah. So to get narrower, we're gonna have to do some neck magic. But it's doable. That's board building, that's the woodworking. That's one of the most flexible parts about the whole setup.
And I was noticing you've been making stringer boards.
Yes.
And I feel that that's a very applicable
direction for this. Yep.
Yeah, because we're really just trying to provide a mounting point for the trucks that has an angle and a location for bindings.
Yeah, the other thing we could do that would be really easy is like the bracket boards. Just a bracket deck.
That's what I was thinking. When you were worried about the neck snapping off, I was like, well, let's just bracket it.
Yeah. And then we'll replace if the angle gets messed up because we crash or whatever, or you go off a jump too high, you just have the spare bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say we've got a really good starting point here because of the efforts we put into it before.
Right. I'm excited.
It's riding.
You won't be able to make me a new axle or a new hanger.
I did pick up a new welding machine.
Oh, but you're not around.
Well, but U.S. mail can fill in the gaps.
Okay.
So anyway, I'd say the all-terrain dirt skate is believable.
Nice. Yeah, when I stepped in these bindings, I was like, these are nice.
Yeah.
These are nice bindings.
Though the MBS never felt as comfortable as these ones did.
They're like, MBS is on V5 of their bindings.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure where you left off, but they've
made some improvements.
It looks like it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say Longboard technology is exploring the
dirt.
It's getting down and dirty.
All right.
Well, this is Longboard technology over and out.